Today, we're going to talk about MVNOs and how switching to one can save you money on your next cell phone bill. I'm Dennis, your local IT guy. Roll that beautiful intro.
What are we talking about today? MVNOs. Why do you care? It's cheaper. I got the pros and the cons, coming up as far as MVNOs, but when it comes down to it, it's just you want to save money, right? What does it stand for? Mobile Virtual Network Operator. What does that mean? Well, basically it's a business that's paying another business to use their cell network. They lease it out. Who do they lease it out from? The big three. Wait, there's four on that slide. Yeah, well, part of the whole Sprint T-Mobile merger led to Dish Network buying some of the spectrum and utilizing Boost Mobile, which they're going to rebrand and call Boost Infinity. But they're also kind of leasing out some of the available infrastructure from the other three also. So I hate to call them part of the, big, I don't want to call the big four, but they're kind of their own entity. They're trying to get bigger. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. But all I did here was just kind of take a bunch of the different MVNOs that I know of and just kind of throw it on here so you can see how many there are. And this is not all of them by any means. Some of them are owned by those big four, but some of them are just their own independent companies. But you can see there's Visible by Verizon. That's who I use. There's Metro by T-Mobile, right? So they're actually owned by them, but they're less expensive. Why are they less expensive? I'll get into that. But yeah. So here's pros. Cheaper. Really, out of everything I put here. That's the only reason, really. That's it. The end. Cut. But I guess if you want to keep your own number, that's a pro, right? Keeping your own number. Yeah, I'd say so. Then basically what I put on here is, if there's coverage by your current carrier, say if T-Mobile, you're happy, then you go, wait, I want to try an MVNO. It's supported by T-Mobile. The coverage is pretty much going to be the same. Then there's, no contract. I love that. It is flexible. And some of these are niche services. By niche, I mean, they will go after a target audience. Say you don't use a lot of data. You might have a little more gray in your beard than me. Maybe you don't care so much about data, so they can target, you as their niche audience. Some of the negatives, yeah, limited network access. One of the things about MVNOs, since they're leasing from these networks. They can be deprioritized. Say you're on a busy tower. There's a whole lot of other customers using that same tower. Who's going to get priority on that list? The person that is paying directly to that company a whole lot more money? Or you that's leasing it through a secondary company? You will be deprioritized. So it doesn't mean that you won't be able to talk on your phone or send a text message, but what it might mean is they might slow your data speed. Customer support's always hit and miss with these things, but me personally, I'm a visible customer. I haven't really had to call them, but I mean, they advertise on their website that you will talk to a person. Can't guarantee that'll happen with the others. There's definitely reduced features and services on these things. Good example would be phone insurance. If you care about your phone, you might want to have phone insurance, and then you might want to pay more and be a part of one of the big three, big four. And then, of course, another con would be being the leasee. Is that the correct way to say it? The leasee of their infrastructure. You're also dependent on them. So there's always that chance that they could raise the rent, I guess you'd say, which would then impact you. Beer is good. So, some of my tips. I'm a value shopper. I like to say BBL. Don't be brand loyal. Now would be a good time for a story time. So, my mother-in-law, she had AT&T 4 years. Loyal customer. They were charging her, just her phone line, just her, over $70 a month for 2 gigs of data. I found that absurd. She was the perfect customer. When you're brand loyal, it gives them a blank check just to abuse you. So me personally, I'm not brand loyal. I shop for value, and that's why I've been a user of MVNOs for nearly 10 years now. I bounce around. Another tip. Say you're not even interested in MVNOs, but you're thinking about bouncing from, say you had Verizon, and you wondered if maybe you could jump to T-Mobile. You didn't know how their coverage is, though, in your area. You can actually buy some cheap phone, pick an MVNO out of any of those lists that I showed you, and I'll put it in the comments, too. You can pick any one of those that use that supporting network, like T-Mobile. Pay a month. You can take it around with you. You can see what the coverage is like. It'll save you a ton of money and a lot of pain. Say you swap over and you sign a contract. How sad would you be? You know what I just realized is I didn't talk about what phones I use. One of the major costs of having a cell phone plan. So personally, and I've only been burned once by this, I buy used, but refurbished, and I always go with either the Amazon or the Walmart. They have resellers. but usually they have some type of customer service and a reputation to defend. So it's a great idea, if you're going to buy a used one or a refurbished one like me, to go through one of those big providers, Walmart or Amazon or eBay. So this right here is Visible's website, showing what their plan is. They actually have offered two plans. They have one that's $25 a month. That's just, you can consider it their basic plan. The second plan they have is for $35 a month, and that is their Visible Plus. They got on board the Plus train. It says it gives you fastest 5G, premium data, and the Visible Plus also includes international, so if that's what you need. But both plans offer the 5G network, if you're within that network. They both allow you to bring your own phone. They offer unlimited data, talk, text, and the hotspot, FYI, while it is unlimited for usage, it's limited to 5 megabits per second. So if you're trying to connect your computer, something like that, just know that it has a limitation as far as speed. The thing I love about it, no contract, and it is exactly as it says it is. You don't pay anything extra. If it says 25, it's 25. 35, you pay 35. And I love the bottom here. It says get help from a human 24/7. Can't guarantee that with any of the other MVNOs. So the other plan, the other carrier that I'm familiar with is Mint Mobile. This is way more wholesale, but if you have an idea of what you consume as far as data, you can customize your plan. You can buy it in chunks. It says 3 months of service. You can buy it in chunks, either 3 months service, 6 months, or an entire year. It's not bad. It's actually pretty darn good. But it is on the T-Mobile network, so if it's kind of spotty where you are. But T-Mobile's come a long way. Another one I'm familiar with is Ting, and this is the kind of pay-as-you-go. It's way more customized if you're one of those folks that you don't use data, talk every great once in a while, don't text, or maybe text a little. This is probably your plan. It's also on the T-Mobile network, so another great option. This wasn't a video on how to set up your MVNO cell service. More of a quick overview of what it is and why they're less expensive, and how to decide if it's right for you. I've been a user of several MVNO companies. Some are definitely better than others. I personally use Visible. I'm happy with the service. If you currently reside in the Western New York area, I help folks with their IT needs, and that does include advisement of cell phone plans, like the ones I've talked about. Feel free to write in the comments section or Google me, your local IT guy, to set up a consultation. I hope this was at least a little helpful, and until next time.